Hello, welcome to the channel. Today I'll demonstrate you how to write scripts in Clojure, and to make things a bit more fun I will build a habit tracker application, a CLI version of that. So you can create habits and complete your days, and then you see some UI in the terminal to show the history of your habit. But before we start, let's briefly talk about Babashka. So Babashka is a tool that allows you to write Clojure code and execute it as you would execute your shell scripts, and you will get same kind of performance. And this is possible because Babashka itself is executing things on top of GraalVM, which is a virtual machine that allows you to write your Java code and then compile it to native binaries. So you have this fast startup time and performance. Of course, it's not like a full set of Java and Clojure available, but you won't be disappointed because there is a huge selection of libraries and a huge section of Clojure is supported. So it's actually a pretty decent tool. And for those who are skeptical, I just want to say that I was skeptical as well when I first heard about Babashka maybe 3-4 years ago. I thought I don't really like this idea that like put Clojure in this platform or in this environment. So I thought maybe it's something like you can play with, but it's not actually really helpful. But after I tried it, I completely changed my mind. So nowadays we have most of our scripts at work for CI and for project management written as Babashka tasks. So we have like a standard list of things that we execute, like run tests, run build, deploy, build a Docker image, etc. And also the same set of scripts is executed on the CI server. So it's pretty handy. You don't have to write any bash script anymore. And even we created some more complex tools that allows us to do quick migrations across many Git repos for the microservices, Git operate things, and everything was done in Babashka tool. But yeah, today a quick introduction in a subset what's available in Babashka, and we specifically will take a look into tasks runner. So if you worked with Makefile or something like that, that will be familiar. So basically we have a single file and then we have a list of tasks that you can execute. And then if we run bb tasks, you'll see it will show us the list of tasks that we can run. The project structure is really trivial here. So we just have like our folder, and then we have two files, and one is like bb.edn, and the second one is actually database, because we're going to use SQLite database today to store the data, and we'll work with that database from our Babashka script. But yeah, let's go to our bb.edn file, and here we have just a map, and on top level we can define dependencies that we need, and I used this external dependency for HoneySQL to build our SQL queries. And then we have a section with tasks, and let's ignore this require and init for now, but after that basically you can put your keys, and that will be the name of the task that we want to run. So as you see, I created 3 tasks. One is to list our habits, then to mark a habit as complete. And for this one, you can just say like complete this habit without input param. It will complete it for today, or you can pass any date from the past to mark it as completed. And then habits show, which will show more detailed information about single habit compared to the list one. So I can briefly demonstrate you how that looks if I execute these commands. So let's say we want habits habits list, And you see I registered two habits, first habit and second habit. And by default, I configured to run, to show 7 days of history. And these like red dots are, red circles are representing missed day, and green one completed day. Pretty obvious. And we have like the second habit as well. Then we have our habits show. Here I need to pass habit ID, which is this title. And in this case, we'll see more data in the past. So by default, it's 7 weeks. So this is today, and then all previous weeks in vertical format. So it's like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, etc. And this is like by the axis, it's weeks. So, and the third one is BB habits complete. And let's create actually a third habit. Third habit, and it says it's completed. And now if we run our habits list again, we'll see the third habit added to the list. So that's the final result. Let's take a look how it was created. So again, moving here to the top, now we can add some requires that will be available in all our code that we write below. So we'll have Java I/O, pods, and HoneySQL core. We'll talk about pods in a sec. So basically, pod is an interface to work with some third-party tool. If it provides implements this protocol, you can basically work with that as you would do with just the Clojure namespace, but actually it will call another program. And luckily there is a pod for SQLite, so we can just use this pod to execute queries against our database. So what we do next is we have this init section, and what people usually do here is you can just define some global vars. You can define your functions, so it's valid to do something like dfn, myfn, and then you can execute this function from your script's bodies as well. Okay. Yeah, so here the most important part is this one, which is db name. So it will be just like SQLite file, and this is the name of the file. And you can see it was already created. But if I delete that and run it again, this check will return true. So it will recreate the database for me. And I decided to keep things really simple here and just model everything to be a single table. So the table is called habits, and the structure is we have an ID, which is text, and it will be duplicated for all rows, but I just thought it will be the easiest way to model it here. So I have the ID. So for example, it will be first habit, second habit, or whatever habit you want to create. And then we have the date, and this date represents a day that the day the habit was marked as completed. And yeah, it's just like a flat list of rows like that in the table. So here we create the file if it doesn't exist. If it exists, we do nothing, and we reuse this file that's stored on the disk. All right, so let's start with complete. Because it's the simplest one from these three. So the key here is the name of the task, as we've seen before. The value here is where you can implement your task. And for example, for the doc string, it will be printed in the tasks list. If you do bb tasks, it shows you available task, and doc string goes right here. And then we basically implement the task, and you can put whatever Clojure code you want here. So to access command line args, there is a variable named like this, exposed. And as the simplest option, if you do, where's our create complete habit, right? So these args that you put after the task name will be passed as a vector or list in this variable, and you can destructure it as you want. And also, if you want something more human friendly or CLI, more like what you expect from a CLI, there is a Babashka CLI library that you can use to pass the input prompts. Yeah, I'm just keeping it simple, and here I have to wrap that in quotes, so it's like a first argument. And then if I want to pass a date, I can just pass it here. So let's say 1st Jan, and this is marked as complete. And if I do bb habits show, and it's called 3rd habit, we'll see that we now have this green circle here. If we do 2nd, it shows now 2nd green here. All right. What about the body? So here we just have our habit name and date. And if date is nil, we fall back to local date now, which is today. And then we just execute the insert query into SQLite database, insert into habits. We have ID, we have date, and we use this pod now, SQLite, to execute the query against our database. After that's done, we just print a couple lines. You can see output right here, name of the habit, date, and the message. And that's it. And now let's move to habits list. And here we'll have some Java interop regarding working with dates. And this can show you how powerful this could be, because to implement something like that in plain Bash, I don't know how much time it would take for me to do that, because like that standard Java library to work with dates, like Java.time, is pretty powerful, and you have the entire access here from your script, which is insane and it's really, really cool. So let's see what we're doing here. So first of all, we just get the today local date now. And then, as I decided to show by default 7 days of history, I just want to generate these report dates. And what I'm doing here is I'm using this dates util function from local date. And you can pass 2 prompts there. One will be start day, and the next one will be end date. And end date is not including this date, so I have to add additional day. So this will return a Java stream. To convert it into a Clojure sequence, you want to get iterator from that and then pass it into iterator seq. So after that, you'll have a sequence of local dates starting from 6 days before until today. So it will be 7 days always. And we'll reuse this generated sequence later. After that, what we want to do is we want to do a select from our habits table. So these 3 lines will execute the query. So we're using Honey SQL here, by the way. So it's a DSL for SQL. You can define it like a Clojure map, and then you do format. It will convert it into a SQL string, and then you can just use that string to execute it against the database. The next one is I just decided to put this distinct, because we want distinct pairs of habit ID and date, because I didn't add the uniqueness constraint, which you can do on the database level if you prefer, but distinct works as well. So if you accidentally mark as completed the same date, now it will be duplicated row in the table, which is not ideal, but for now it works. And after that, I want to group by ID. So after that, I have a map where a key is the name of my habit, and the value is all the rows from the database for that habit. And I'm looping on those key value pairs, and for each key value pair I want to print some information. So first of all, I print this horizontal separator, which is just like, a couple equal signs like this, and then I say I'm printing the habit information for last 7 days, and here I want to convert my report dates into a sequence of these red and green circles. And I'm just doing that by mapping over the dates from here, and I'm converting them to a set. So after executing this, I'll have a set of dates that were marked as complete. And to convert them into a sequence of these red and green circles, I'm doing another map right here. I'm mapping over report dates, and if this report date contains inside my completed dates set, I'm converting it into completed indicator. If not, I'm converting it into incomplete indicator. And this is just like emoji, Unicode, or how you call that, code for this symbol. And yeah, after that I have this, I'm just printing this array, and I'm just converting it to a string concatenated together with spaces between. And that's how the list works. Let me show once again how it looks. So it's habits list, and now we have 3 entries right here for our habits. And if you want more detailed information, I implemented this habits show command, and idea is similar. In this case, when we do query to the database, we now only interested in rows where ID equals the habit, because we pass it into the params. But after that, we basically have these completed dates. We already mapped that into map date here. So this will be just a set of all completed dates from the database. And after that, idea is pretty similar. I generate these report dates, but a cool thing here, which will be really hard to implement in Bash if you ever want to do that, I suppose. So what happens here is that you get your today, and then you get the previous Monday before your date. So if today is Tuesday, I'll get previous Monday. If today is Monday, I'll give a Monday week before. So this is result of this block, and then I just do minus 7 weeks, and after that I get my start date. So I always want to start from Monday 7 weeks before today, and after that we've seen that code before. We just generate a sequence of all dates between start day and today, including today. And yeah, after that I just print this array, which is concatenation of the day of the week. Oh, by the way, one other thing, I'm grouping here by the day of the week, because if you notice how this looks, each row is representing the day of the week across the different weeks. So I just grouping here by Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, etc. And it's pretty handy, because from the local date you can call this get day of the week function, and it will return you an enum value representing the day of the week, and then I'm just getting the name of that. So the key of this map will be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and inside it will be report dates, and they will be already ordered by the time, so I don't have to do anything here. So after that, I just loop through that array, and I'm printing short representation of the day, just like 3 letters, a substring, and lowercase that. And after that, I concatenate it to the result. And the idea here is the same. I'm just looping through report dates sorted, and then I check if that date is inside the completed dates set. And after that, I just print that. And yeah, that's how it works. Pretty simple example, and of course, a lot of things to improve. But the idea was not to create something that I'll use on a daily basis, but more to show you how to work with Clojure and how to Clojure in Babashka in scripts, and how to write your Babashka tasks. And if you never tried that before, I highly recommend doing that, because nowadays I just cannot imagine working with Clojure microservices and don't use Babashka across that repos, because it's really convenient. You basically expose same CLI API to work with your repo, and you don't have to remember any specific commands. It's all, you can access all by typing bb tasks in any repo that you are in, and then you have a list of commands that's available. It's pretty cool. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Also, there are options to support me. There is Buy Me a Coffee page, and also there is a paid subscription in my Substack. So if you want to support the channel, that really helps. And I really appreciate all the support I receive. Thanks a lot. See you next video. Bye bye.